Hey everybody! I haven't been on here in a really long time making a vlog, and I decided today's the day because I've been feeling some inspiration to share some things, and I think it's the right time. I've been posting a lot of music recently, and that's been my sort of track. I go in these different tracks where I'm sort of like doing music or art or writing and or whatever, like vlogging and stuff. And now I'm just sort of like in a music track, so I've been focusing a lot of my attention there. And although I did just post a video in Florida, so I was just in Florida, and I wanted to share a little bit about that, but also just how that connects to my entire self right now. So I did just get back from Florida, and it was a really great spring break trip, and I went with my family, and we spent a week there. This place called Satellite Beach. It's like an hour from Orlando, and it was really beautiful and secluded in a way, like not that many people, and so we spent a lot of time on the beach and just like hanging out and enjoying the sun and the ocean. And this trip was a really big deal for me in a lot of ways, because I think I've been feeling a lot of like growing pains recently, and by recently I mean like more like the past couple of years. I've been feeling like on the cusp of something big within myself, just growing to the next level, and yet having a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. And it's easy to get caught up in that and just sort of like remain in your comfort zone. And I've definitely had phases where I just didn't really like leave my house very much, and that was my sort of way of coping with what I was dealing with. And now I'm sort of at the point where I don't want that to be my reality anymore. I want to experience the world and also like heal that part of me at the same time. Not ignore it, not think it's bad or evil or wrong, or feel guilty about it, but just, learn to accept it a little bit. And really saying yes to this trip was a huge deal for me, because I went into it feeling excited. There was definitely some fear just about like traveling, and so what I did is just I got everything that makes me feel really comfortable and safe, and I packed it with me, and I brought my book, which is like a sacred item to me. And I packed some things that mean something to me, and along with my grandma's wedding ring, which I wore also for like protection and good vibes. And I knew I was going into some of these things that were gonna trigger me and push my buttons, and I just went forward. And what's monumental about this is there seemed to be a shift within me that I realized the excitement, or not even the excitement, but like the energy behind me was more, the energy of support was more strong than my fear. And I felt very little fear on that trip. And something that I've really been thinking about recently is just, I think I've come more to a place of acceptance within myself about, these are certain situations where, I struggle with certain things, and I've come to a place of acceptance within myself about some of these things, and sort of taking it in stride better and pacing myself better. And at the same time, I think I still have had a difficult time sort of involving other people in this type of a conversation. I don't really like to talk about it because, you feel judged sometimes, and you feel more alone sometimes when people don't understand sort of how you feel, or why something is so difficult to you and it's easy for them, and whether it be from family or friends or whatever, like I've definitely felt like I have only trusted my parents for a long time, and being able to just say, hey, these are my fears, and they know how to help me through different situations and scenarios that are difficult for me, and I feel supported in that, which is why I've been able to take some strides forward in doing things like traveling, or simply getting in the back seat of a car and going on a road trip, and knowing that it's difficult, but also feeling like, hey, this is gonna help me in some ways, and I'm making a step, and the journey that I'm on right now that I want to share with you is that there definitely is still a lot of fear within me around making these next steps and saying, being able to open myself up to people and say, hey, sure, I'd like to go and get lunch with you, or sure, I'd like to go to this movie with you, or whatever it may be, or just taking a walk, whatever it may be, just getting out of the house and saying yes. I want to be able to say yes, and here's some things that I want to tell you about myself, and be able to say that, and not feel like it's a burden or a shameful thing, or because what I've realized this past year, as I've had some pretty close friendships, and two women in my life that I'm really close to, and we talk about the things that we rock at, the things that we are super women about, and also the things that we're scared about, the things that we're that are turbulent in our life, our childhood traumas, and why that impacts us today, and how we are taking strides and being so aware of our progress, and being proud about that, and also supporting each other when we feel like kind of lost sometimes too. And I find that these just vulnerable conversations are so important to me now. Just being transparent is so important to me, and it makes me feel like, being human is the strongest asset that we have. Not looking pretty on the outside, not looking polished and saying the right things and having all these talents, but being able to say, I'm scared of this, or saying, I'm great at this, and feel like that's just being authentic. It's not trying to be the king or the queen of the party by saying I rock at this, or if you're sharing something that scares you, you're not trying to get attention, or you're not trying to get people to feel bad for you. I want to have more of these, conversations and realizations, and that's where I'm at right now. And you know what? I just wanted to celebrate, the fact that I just did this trip, and it was really successful, and it was really good for me, and also that I feel this opening that I want to do more of that. And the truth is, it might take me some time to get there, and I'm the great thing is, like, in my mind, I'm thinking about, like, these little steps that I want to take, you know, just, like, going to the cabin for the weekend by myself, or just with one other person or whatever, like, without my parents there, without my family there, and feel how that feels, and feel my, not just okayness, but my strength and independence and confidence that comes from me, and also to be able to just lean on other people and find that you know, I don't have to keep everything within myself, you know. Wow, it's just really a powerful thing that I'm realizing now, and also that you know, it's interesting because when other people have difficulties in their life, I feel this, not obligation, but a real, like, authentic desire to say, you know, to go to that person and help them see all that's right within them, all that is the strength and courage and wisdom within them, and I don't feel like it's a burden at all. I don't feel like it's a pain at all. I don't feel like it makes them broken. I see what is really powerful and amazing, and what's interesting is that when it's reversed, you know, when I'm you know, when it's about me, you know, I feel like I've noticed this track about, you know, oh, that's too much for them to handle, or you know, that makes you look weak, and that's undesirable, and that's not attractive, and all this stuff. And I have this unrealistic, you know, view that other people either see me as, you know, being totally put together and expect that of me, or I'm expecting myself to be that way and to not have hiccups. And I think my fear is just, you know, it's the small things most of the time. It's not even the gigantic things about, you know, speaking in front of a bunch of people, or you know, leading a kirtan, or you know, playing my violin in front of thousands of people. You know, that never scared me. You know, sometimes what scares me is what I did, you know, this past week, was just getting in an airport shuttle and going 5 minutes and having country music blasting in my ears, and having, you know, this driver just, you know, having no control, and having this driver, like, whipping around the corners, and, you know, here's me just, like, thinking to myself, you know, this is just humorous that this is what's challenging, and yet I have to own it, you know, have to own it. And my whole point of this video is that I want to be open about it. I don't want to feel bad about it. And you know what, but I don't feel bad about it. That's the thing, is I actually feel really proud of myself. I guess it's my problem that sometimes I feel like you know, sometimes I feel like I can't deal with this stuff on my own, and then I also don't, at the same time, I also don't reach out to people because I feel like it's too much for them to handle sometimes. And maybe some of you can feel that within your own self and your own story. But the truth is that everybody has stuff, and everybody has fears, and everybody has vulnerabilities, everybody has a story, everybody has a childhood, you know. And I just feel like it's not only untrue if you deny that, but it's also I feel like it just makes you feel so much closer to people when you allow this to be part of the beauty of you, part of the intricate puzzle of you, and it's what makes you shine brighter. It's what makes you even more beautiful. So I just wanted to share that, and also just in hopes that some of you will take this into your own life and look at some of these pieces within you that maybe feel like you're working on, or maybe you just had a victory within yourself that you want to share, but you think, well, that's not really a victory, and other people don't think that as a victory, and I might as well just not say anything. Do celebrate it, because you know what, I'm really proud of myself for what I just did this past week, and just feeling the desire to do more of that, and to go outside my comfort zone, and also be okay with doing that. That's huge for me, and I don't want to pretend like it's not. I don't want to just discard that. I want to actually celebrate it. So that's just what I have to share. And it's a really beautiful day. I'm sitting in the park here, and of course it doesn't compare to the 75 degrees I just had last week, but it's still really beautiful out right now, and the sun is out. And so just celebrate your victories. If you have these growing pains you're going through right now, celebrate that too. And I encourage you, and I'm going to work on this for me too, is just, be really authentic and share these things with people that you feel comfortable sharing it with, because I guarantee you're going to feel lighter and happier and better if you allow people into your bubble, and only allow people into your bubble that will not only support you, but treat it as a sacred gift too, because it's not easy to do that and share pieces of you that even you're scared of. But when you do, you will feel, I hope you will feel even more supported in your journey and yourself and your own inner discoveries, and the right people you surround yourself with will encourage you even more in that direction and say congratulations, on the things that may be easy for them but may be hard for you, and that's what's important. So cheers to all of you warriors out there, and this is just sort of a really honest vlog here, and of course I always do that kind of vlog, but I haven't been on here to do something like this in 2 months, I think, so it's the right timing, and just wanted to share that. So hope you all have a great week, and please in the comments share your insights either on this topic or just say hi, because I haven't seen y'all in a while. And if you haven't watched my latest music video, the Elvis cover, I'm really proud of that. I can't believe all the music stuff I just started cranking out recently, but it's become really a big part of me, and so check that out too. So until next time, I will see you later, and take good care of yourself, and celebrate your little victories this week.